Hi everyone, Luca from lucasphotography.com, and as you can see, I've not actually been uploading many videos recently, and that's mainly due to the lack of equipment I've actually purchased recently. As you've seen in my channel, most of the video have been product review, which are great, but obviously I need more product to review, and because I've not purchased much recently, well, I've not made much videos. The other thing is I've been pretty busy with my studio. Now, I was actually talking recently with a member of the group, which is Lucas group. I put the details down below. It's pretty good, if you want to get through a conversation and subject. Anyway, and shout out to Chris, and he actually suggested that I make videos not about equipment, but more about client meeting and sales and marketing and all that part of the business. And today what I wanted to talk to you about is meeting clients about weddings. I kind of have in some way the same approach with every client that goes through my door for wedding photography, but I do approach it differently every single time. So let me explain to you. Now, there are a few things that you must know before you meet your clients. First of all, you do not need a studio space to actually meet your clients. I meet my clients in cafes for years and years, in restaurants and hotels, and it's never made much difference. Every client that I've met here, I've not signed all of them. I've not signed all the clients that came into the studio, like I've not signed all the clients that came into the bar to meet me. So if you are looking to buy a studio because you think you're gonna sign up more weddings, it's maybe not true, okay? It may bring more confiance to your clients because obviously they've got a place to go if anything goes wrong, or they know that you're not gonna turn up, take your damn money and run away. But you got to understand that people, in the first instance, buy people, okay? So if your photos, no, let me phrase this differently. Your clients are not photographers, okay? They're not photographers. They don't have a clue about aperture, speed, lighting. They don't care. And, it's like you, if you walk into a bakery, you want to buy a nice baguette or some bread, you don't really care how it's made or what's in there. Well, you do to a certain limit, okay? You don't ask the recipe every time you buy something. You make sure that it tastes good and that the price is right. So, and the photography is pretty much the same. The thing is, your clients that are coming to see you, they obviously can judge you, okay? And you have to adapt yourself to them in order to create a connection with them. So, the first thing I do in every single of my meeting, first point, is let them talk, okay? I want to know who I'm dealing with here. Some people will come into the meeting super excited. Oh, I love your picture, I love your work, it's great, we just want you. And well, that's great, it makes the meeting quite easy. But most of the time, people come to see you, they may say, oh, we've seen your work, we like your work. This is mostly my clients. They come here, yeah, we've seen your work, we like your work, we just want to know a bit more. We want to know your prices, because that's one of the things. I used to send my brochure to every single client that used to ask me, and I realized that I was wasting a lot of time and sending a lot of information which were not relevant to the actual time of the conversation. Okay, because from the time you send everything, that's pretty much it. You kind of blow in some way, because if the price doesn't fit their budget, or get be worried of, it's not great. The best thing to do, this is the way I do, and this is what works the best for me, is when someone contacts me by email, which 99% of my clients contact me by email for this, I'll send them an email saying, congratulations on your plans, excellent, I am free at this date and love to shoot your wedding. However, I'd like to meet you in order to discuss it. My process starts from so on. And I'll ask you, depending where they contact me from, but if it's just a simple email, I'll ask them to go see my website and make sure that my work fits their requirements. And if my work fit their requirements, if they like my work, if the prices fit into their budget, please contact me to make an appointment, and then we can talk about the details. 99% of the time, people who are really interesting, who are serious, will contact you and ask for this appointment. The one who are sending 15 or 20 emails around it are not gonna get back to you. They're gonna, I don't have price. No, I put them. And to be honest, it's not a client I want. I want a client who's gonna take me for my work, no for my prices, no for the presentation of my prices, none of this. I want them to take me for my work. And if the budget fit, fantastic. If the budget doesn't fit, that's unfortunate. So from the time you manage to get this appointment, okay, in a coffee, in a hotel, in a restaurant, at your studio, personally, I use the exact same approach. First of all, you're not gonna know the people you are in front of you until you start speaking to them. Now, I try to adapt myself to the people I have in front of me. You're gonna have some people which are super high-tempered and really open and really open and really fun and bubbly and all this. And you're gonna have on the other extreme someone which is much more conserved, much more reserved. That doesn't mean that they don't like your work, doesn't mean they don't like you. They just have a different personality. And I used to take a bit offended when I used to have person who kind of didn't really drop a smile during the meeting, or didn't really get as excited as I was. But I quickly understand that, you know, we are dealing with different people than us, than the clients you had before, or the one that you had in 2 years ago. So you got to adapt. And one thing I do every time when I meet a client, the first thing I do is ask them to speak about their wedding. Now they're gonna speak, some of them is gonna tell you, I get married here, in the mairie here, the church here, and the cocktail is there. And that is pretty much it. And some of them gonna go into lots of detail. Oh, we're gonna get prepared here, all my bridesmaids will be there, my husband will be sitting there. You know, they're gonna go through a lot of details. So you can't answer the client in the same ways. You have to adapt. Now, someone who's gonna be more reserved, I will try to ask a bit more questions, you know, and try to get them to open a little more. Sometimes smiling, being nice during the meetings, gonna get them to copy you in some way, you know. And often I have the people who are like that. By the end of the meeting, they're kind of smiling, they're a bit more open, a bit more relaxed. Now the people who are really bubbly and super excited, they're the people I like to deal with, because I like to be like this. I'm super excited about my work when I talk about it. And having someone like this in front of you, it just makes it so easy. But I'm not here to talk to you about the easy part, you know, because the easy part, everyone can do it. Everyone can deal with someone who's going to take your book and is going to say, oh, I love it, I just want to pay. Tell me how much I pay. How much? I'll pay now. Okay? No, everyone can deal with people like that. That's the point. That's why I want to try to talk to you about people which are more difficult to deal with. Now, the people who are going to come here, so first of all, I'll let them speak about the day. I want to know as much details, because first you show an interest. Now that you should be interested, first instance, but you show that you are interested. You show that before you speak about any prices, about yourself, you actually interested about the day, want to know every details about it. So it kind of gives you an idea of how the day is going to be, and tell them why you're asking so many questions, you know, because they're going to understand. Because if you start for example, with a list here of questions, it's not working like that. You have, what I normally do is have a blank book, and I just write down details about our meeting, and so that is the first thing I do with a meeting. Once I've got a good idea about the meeting, I ask them, have you seen my work? Have you been able to go on my website? Some people will say yes, some people will say no. Either way, I will show them a book. I have a book presentation, which is my portfolio, and I will tell them, well, listen, I've got some work which I've put on a book. I'll invite you to have a look at it and let me know what you think. Is there a specific style that you prefer? Do you prefer black and white? Do you prefer color? Now, tell them what your style is. because personally I work a lot with color, not too much black and white. I'm not super attracted by black and white, but a lot of clients like black and white. So if they tell you, you can then present them your work on a book in a way where you can explain them, well, I work a lot on color, but a lot of picture will fit extremely well in black and white. So now if I know that you like black and white, I will work towards the idea of having a lot of black and white there. It's really into the details. The people are gonna feel, you know exactly what we want. He listen to us, he want to know our details. Some couple, I even ask them, how did you meet? Because they are nice, they just want to talk about it. And for lots of people, they're getting married, they are passionate about this marriage, they love each other. And talking about love for them, it's exciting. And this is a way you should approach it. I love asking my clients, how did you meet? Where did you meet? How did you propose? You know, you even laugh a bit about it. And you straight away get their attention. You know, you really getting into the bubble where the friends and family are, where they share those moments and those memories with them, and you getting into it. And that is important things to do. Now, some people will be much more reserved, will not want really to talk too much, and that's okay. You just got to adapt. But try to go into a way where you really are showing some interest and really show that you are passionate about what you're doing. Once I've talked about their day, I then talk about me. I think it's important for a client to know your history, your experience, if you want some awards. Who are you? You know, I've got a page on my website, who I am. I don't even know who really or know. But I like to tell them, you know, at Mark, I've been doing this for so many years. I've got a studio now, I specialize in wedding, and so on, so on. Obviously, you have your own speech, and you've got to practice. You've got to be really confident when you speak about it. Once I've done this, I then start showing them the price. I said, well, okay, so these are the forfeits I can do. And then I show them the price. And from there, obviously, this is where one thing you really have to do is, I've always heard something I've heard one day, which made me completely change the way I sell my products. Let's say you go and buy a phone, an Apple phone, the newest that just come out, right? You go to the Apple store, and the guys tell you, okay, it's $1,000 for the phone. Would you be, $1,000 really? Or would you be more like, yeah, take my money, fucking love that product, excellent. Do you see where I'm going here? Okay. You shouldn't be ashamed of your prices. You shouldn't be ashamed of talking about money, because I'm personally excited to go and buy something. Yes, of course, I'm going to spend money, I'm going to take money which I work hard for, blah, blah, blah. But no, I don't see it this way, and most people don't see it this way. You know, most people see it in a way, okay, I'm paying for this product, but it's a great product and I really want it. Okay, so I'm gonna put a price for it. You know, Apple, all those big brands, they're confident about the price. They say, the price is this. I'm not taking it down. This is what is worth, and my work is worth that price. This is what you will pay if you want to use me. And that is very important. I used to be, when I was coming to the pricing and the forfeit chat, I used to lower a bit the voice. I used to start losing a bit confidence because I wasn't confident enough. But now it's completely opposite. Now I'm like, okay, this is 1,500, this is 3,000, and this is what you get for that price, okay? And as soon as they already know your base price, so they're not expecting you, if you tell them your base price is 1,000, they're not expecting you to start talking about something that costs 10,000. Okay, so you've got to really get into it and show them that you're confident. Those price is my value is what is worth, you know, and that's pretty much it. From there, a lot of people will try to push the sales. I don't actually even lower the sale, and I've got a reason for that. What I would normally say to them, I say, okay, listen, I'm aware I'm not the only photographer in your area, but you've got to feel the pictures you're looking at. You've got to feel some emotion when you look at someone's work. You know, you've got to feel that you would like to be into this pose, into this reportage, into this kind of day where you will have those kind of results, you know. And most of them will be, oh yeah, that would be nice, that would be great. Okay, so, you know, take your time. It's a very important decision. You know, you have one wedding photographer. It will happen one time. You've got to choose the right person. You know, it's really, really important. Now, if you choose me, obviously, it's great, fantastic. I would love to work with you, you know. But I really want you to take your time, go on my website, have a look at the work I do, and try to imagine yourself into this picture. Try to imagine yourself into my style and see if it fits your day. Now, 99% of the time, they've already seen your work, so they like it, they want to see it. And here, by doing this, you only pushing the emotion inside that are going to talk to them. I say, oh, fucking, I love this work, actually, it's true, yeah. And if you do it right, if you do it, there is no reason why you shouldn't sell a wedding. Now, you know, as I say, you know, you're gonna get people which are gonna be different from time to time. And this 16-minute video here, I'm still talking. As I said, it was gonna take some time, but you know, I really hope it helped. I'm not done anyway. Now, the one thing I will tell them before they go, I will tell them, listen, you must understand there is obviously an account to pay to be able to reserve the date. Now, I've had some experience and I'm not booking anything, reserving any date until this account has been paid. Now, as I said, take your time, think about it, but don't take too long. If someone turns up tomorrow with a check for this date, I will take it. I have no choice. And because I had some issue where I've sent the contract, everything is good, and 2 weeks later, payment no arrived, contact them, and no, they don't want it anymore, financial reason, whatever, and you lose possible a wedding that or request that's been in the middle of it. So that is a little push sell, but you've done this after telling them take your time, think about it, you know, make sure you do the right shows. So you've already, it's all pedagogy, you know, it's psychology, you know, you've got, first of all, you want them to take the right decision. It's their special day, it's not yours. It's a wedding for you, it's a wedding like another one. Maybe now, you know, I personally take wedding very seriously. I love my wedding couples and really try to work as hard as I can for them. And it pays off, you know. And I think that if you are honest and passionate about what you do and you talk about it to them like that, without really pushing for a sale and trying to get a check straight away, there is no reason you wouldn't sell it. Now, talking about the places where you're meeting your clients, I think it's very important to choose places which are quiet, which give you also some privacy, okay? Don't go into a crowded area. Don't go into a restaurant or bar where the tables are really close to each other. You want to have some privacy. You want to be able to talk to them and not have the table next door, next to you, listening to your conversation. That's something I hate. So make sure you choose the right place. If you have a studio, fantastic. If you're thinking about getting a studio, do it, but don't do it only for this. This is not gonna sell you more weddings. Maybe a couple more because they've seen your shop, but most of the people that come to me, even with the studio, are coming because of the website, because of recommendation, because of wedding planners, and so on and so on. So that is the first volet of these kind of videos. I hope you like it. I know it's a long video, but really, there is a lot to cover, and I think, you know, there is a lot to talk about if you want to talk about details, and I think the details are really, really important. So this is the way I conduct my meetings, the way I approach my client for weddings. If you want to see more of this, post a comment down below, join the Facebook group, which is called Lucas Group. I put all the details down below, and this is a great way to ask me what you would like to see. As I say, I have no plan to buy new equipment. I may buy the XT2 soon. I was even thinking about getting the XT20. But I have no plans ready for equipment review at the moment. So have a look at this, tell me what you think, and if you want to see more, you will. Alright, see you.